Hi, and welcome back to a new episode of Poppin Conversations. In today's episode, we're going to be going over some DMs that we have, y'all, some questions we're going to be taking on one by one. So this is going to be a good one, no filter. What you like to say, real talk, no
Real
fluff.
talk, no fluff, straight answering these questions.
Yes, let's get into it. Let's get into it.
So before we actually dive into unlocking the DM, I just really want to say how proud I am of my family. We had a really beautiful Easter
Yes,
and everybody showed up and showed out, especially our men. And so, yeah, I just want to give a shout out to the men in the family. They did a really good job for Easter.
that's real because it just takes showing up. And then, like, we have so many kids in the next generation. So it's important for them to see us showing up, having a good time. Like us, we always say relationships are not perfect, but it's about showing up and just having that real connection and creating memories. So we definitely got another holiday in the books. So cheers for us. Cheers for
Yeah,
us.
because I always say holidays can be really hard for people and
Yeah.
tough. The holiday blues is real
Hmm.
and people are lonely, things are just can be hard for you and I get it. So I just really proud that we came together. We had a really good time. It was no tension, no drama, which is normally not any drama, but sometimes the men can be, they could be meaning.
It's just funny because it was an experience where it was sometimes the first time that we were meeting some people. Like, so we had the teenagers bringing her boyfriend for the first time, new cousins joining us with their spouses and stuff. So it is
Correct.
really cool just to, because it's been a long time since I was meeting someone for the first time or like not knowing what to expect going to someone else's family. So it's always cool to be the host family and to give that energy that you would
Correct.
want to receive, especially to another woman. So I'm proud of us. We always do a good job of making people feel welcome and just a nice space where they want to come back. They always want to come back. So
Correct. I agree. I agree. It was a really good time. Nothing but love and laughter. The kids kept us on our toes, so I appreciate it.
yes, they know drama. But speaking of drama, we're gonna get into this drama. Did you see what's going on with Shannon Sharp? I think that's where we're gonna start at today.
I did.
What's your
Look,
thoughts?
my thoughts is I don't know enough only from what we are told in the media. The media is
Mhm.
biased. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but just with the little of what I heard from him putting out his statement in the recordings, yeah, it's not looking good.
You
Yeah,
know, we're never here to judge, and there's always two sides,
side
but
is definitely two sides to each story.
when sex, secrets, and social media collide, it's always a mess. It
But
gets
you
real
know
messy.
what? Shannon Sharp is definitely me because what do I always tell y'all? I have my what? Receipts. And the
Mhm.
fact that he is coming with text messages and the recording is, like he said, I'm sure stuff is edited out. But I always say, people better be aware that nowadays people are taping you, taping your
Mhm.
conversations. People have receipts. So we're going to see what happens.
I know, and I like Shannon, so I'm rooting for him. I do know there's a lot of people out here that want to just get people however they can because they don't want to go to work. The rest of us have to go to work, earn an honest living, but there's a good bit of people that like to exploit people and opportunities for money, and that's just sad because this is his life, this is his career that he's built, and here
Correct.
she goes just trying to take it. It's
Well,
never fair, but
he just got that $100 million contract, and to her or others, it may be a good
cha-ching.
opportunity to come after. I don't know. I'm hoping and praying that what she said is not true about him because I do really, I really love Shannon. I've been a Shannon fan for a long time. So I'm hoping and praying that this isn't true. But there needs to be some accountability if when this is all said and done, if there is no truth to it and this is just an extortion case, she needs to be held accountable.
You know, he's going after her for defamation and whatever else that he can claim as well. And I absolutely support him in that. It's not fair. And these young people need to realize that you cannot do that. You cannot just tarnish someone's character because you want a couple dollars. That's not how life works. It's not how life should work. Let's say it like that's not how life should
Life
work.
should work. But there's accountability. And again,
And hopefully there's a lesson to be learned here,
a
Shannon.
lesson to be learned now to Shannon. Yeah. Now he might need to leave some of these folk alone. Leave it where
I
they
can't
at.
even say the young girls, but they say don't mess with the young girls. I can't even say that it's just the young girls.
It's
It's
not.
just in general, he just got to be careful, a different level of careful. He can call me. I will screen them for you, Unc. They got to get through like a job interview before they can even meet you. That's what he need, a screening process
He needs something. He definitely needs
from some
something
real sisters that got his back. Because
for
these
sure.
girls, what y'all say, out cold with it.
The new level of it, I don't
Oh my
know.
goodness. So let's get into today's theme, actually, which is sex, pillow talk, and situationships. Like I said, we have a few questions from our DM, so we've gathered them together and we're going to take them one by one. And let's start with the first one. So, okay, you guys, we got a DM from a man. Let's just call him Marcus, and it was deep. So let's break it down. You ready?
Ready.
All right. I want to make sure I get this right. So I'm looking. Marcus has been in a 4-year relationship, okay? No major red flags. He says no cheating, no drama, but emotionally he's drained. His woman has checked out sexually. She says she's always tired or just not in the mood. When he tries to talk, she shuts down. He said that he's tried everything, therapy, books, date night, but nothing has changed. And so he's asking us, is he wrong for thinking about leaving, even when things aren't bad? They're just not as good as he would want them to be.
Ooh, first off, let's normalize this.
Okay.
Your needs are not being met is not the same as being needy.
Mm, okay.
You know,
And
there's
there's
a
nothing even
difference.
wrong with being needy, though.
It's not.
If that's just the kind of love you need.
It's nothing wrong with it at all. Let's just keep it real. Some folks look at relationships from the outside, wishing it will fall apart,
Mhm.
especially when they see you happy and stable on social media. They
That's why this hit a little different. This message hit a little different from Marcus. Because he didn't bash his woman. He simply is just saying that there are some things that he wished would be a little different. He could have went to the internet, like some people do, and just bash her and call her all types of names or start broadcasting his problems, opening that door for other people not only to offer their opinion, but to try to slide in their bed. He didn't go that route. He's trying to figure out what to do and how to sort it out. But it's like, how do you I think communication with your partner would be the biggest advice that I would give him. And give it time. Have your receipts, like you said earlier. If you're asking for certain things, like how many times has she been turning you down? Is she genuinely tired? Like, what is it that you can do? And then call her out on it. Hate to say it, but call her out on it.
First of all, Marcus, what are you doing to get her in the mood? Sex for men starts differently than sex for women, so let's just understand that.
So you're asking, is she really even enjoying the sex? So perhaps that's why she's not into it, because she like, what's the point?
I can't speak for her, but I can generally speak that most times sex for women starts differently than men. The mood has to be set. That's why you gotta speak. People gotta not be afraid to talk about sex and what your
Mhm.
need is in the relationship versus what his needs are and how to get you where you need to be. It's not about who can get there the fastest. It's real.
I don't think that that's taught though, especially in a safe space, especially in our community, especially in the Black women community. We weren't taught that it should be enjoyable. That there's pleasure you should get out of it, that you should feel a certain way. It shouldn't hurt. I remember
Correct.
being young and thinking that it was supposed to be painful, and that was like an accomplishment and a badge of honor for them. Meanwhile, a woman can seriously be in pain because you are ruining her inside. So there's so much, it's so much here.
It is. And some men do think that it is enjoyable if you're hurt. I'm here to
Mm-mm.
tell you, if you're hurting during the process, something is wrong. You should not be hurting. Like, it's something is definitely wrong if you're hurting during this process. So that is something you really do need to think about. Back to Marcus. There's definitely some conversations that need to be had with him and his wife, partner, whoever she is, about his needs and her needs, and you move on from there. Now, my problem is always when you have the conversation and nothing changes. And I want men to understand, normally for me, I'm gonna speak for me. When I bring something to your attention, I need immediate correction. So
Mm.
don't think if I bring it up and I say that I'm not being satisfied in the bed and I need you to kiss me on my right cheek, side of my face, and you don't take immediate course of action, I have a problem with it.
Mm.
Don't think that is if somebody tell you what they need and then you don't follow through immediately, to me it's lost. And I think what happens a lot of times, men think like, she told me she wanted to be kissed on her right cheek. Am I being fake if I do it immediately? No, that's what she asked you to do.
I think that's exactly what it is. You kind of don't know when you should do it, and then you look up and time has passed, and she like, I done told him what I like, and he still ain't doing it, and he's in his own way because now he's trying to give it time, like to
It's
marinate.
it's you almost have to think of it not necessarily transactional,
Hmm.
but when you go on a job and they come and they give
Hmm.
you some
Hmm.
constructive feedback, when do
Hmm.
they want that problem corrected?
Immediately, they don't want you to make the same mistake twice, or it's an issue.
Same thing with a relationship. When someone tells you something is going on in the relationship and it's not beneficial to them and they need it corrected, it needs to be some immediate correction. And
I think
that's not
that's a good
happening.
point. I think that's a good point. I do think because I was the same way. I would get in my own head like, let me wait a couple weeks instead of just immediately applying that feedback. So that's a good gem to give him. As
Okay, what's Marcus' next question? Because I know Marcus sent us several questions.
okay, he asked. It was pretty much surrounding how often do women think about cheating and why. So I'll start off with answering how often do women think about cheating. I would say more often than you think for a few things, especially because she could just be emotionally checked out and over it, and overwhelmed. You know me, we overstimulated. It's a lot. I only got one kid and it's a lot over it. You think about cheating. But another thing I can say is it's like what do you there's so many options, and I think men don't realize that. Like, you go out to the store, you go to different places, we get hit on a lot, and I don't know why they think that we don't. Like, they the only ones that can get someone else or have someone else approach them. No, women get hit on too. We probably get hit on more than y'all do. And we are able to keep it together, but some days you weaker than others. So, yes, you may think
Well,
about cheating. I'm not saying that I think about cheating, but I'm just saying it's real.
let me tell you, when your needs are not being met, you think about other options. Now, that's not necessarily cheating, but if you come to your partner and you're discussing things, or you just feel like certain things that you need and it's just not happening, a need is not being met. Do you automatically resort to cheating? Maybe some women, I would say, I have some friends that do. Have I thought about immediately when my needs have not been met to cheat? No. Have I ever thought about leaving? Yes. Cheating rarely starts in the bedroom.
Okay, I think that's a different thing too. Because me, I'm not necessarily thinking about cheating. Is more so like I would say leaving. I mean, breaking up, whatever you want to call it. But cheating, I agree that is a bit different because why is that your first thing to do? That just means you're not maybe being satisfied. That goes back to the previous thing. So
It starts,
you
it's
having
cheating,
those feelings.
and it starts when you feel invisible. When your love becomes a job with no perks, then it's like, hey, now I'm gonna have another thoughts. And so people have to understand, when you get into a relationship, it's no longer about you. You're in a relationship because you wanted to be a partner. And so therefore your job is to meet that person's needs and their job is to meet your needs. And when those two worlds don't collide, and I'm not saying 100% your needs are going to be met, but 90 some percent of the time, your partner should know what it takes for you to be fulfilled in a relationship. And if it's just going one way, at some point, cheating is going to come to play. Do women think about cheating? Yes, we think about cheating. Do we act on it? No, not all of us. Some of us, yeah. And some of us good at it because I know a couple of them. You never
I'm
know.
not, because if you cheating is lying to me. I don't have time to be lying and just being out here with all these different people. But I will say, I think it stems from, because I always say, like, I didn't want to be one of those older women that are just out here going after the lawn boy or the pool boy and stuff like that. So I do think it's an interesting dynamic. And that's why I like talking to older women. It's like those people that have never been with anyone else. So you're not getting satisfied from your husband. And you realize that after what, 20 years, and then you start to wonder, your brain starts to wonder, then you go out, you're getting that attention now, and it's like, whoo, I wonder what it would feel like to hug somebody else or to get touched by someone else and those kind of things. And I feel like that's what leads to cheating too. So what
Yeah.
is your thought process on like sex before marriage or just never being with anyone else before? Because I feel like in this part of my life, if you just cheating, I mean, what are you cheating for? But that's what I see at this part of my life when I see people that are cheating. Because if you're not leaving, you're just cheating, it's because you're just missing something. And those people that I know that are missing something is because they haven't been with anyone else. And they're getting, that little bit of attention that they're not getting at home. And that's enough to just, whoo.
Yeah. I mean, it's an emotional need that's not being satisfied. You cheat because you are not getting something. Whether you're cheating for the luxury that this person is able to provide you financially, he's whining and dining you. You're cheating because the sex isn't good. Some of you have to understand you don't know what you're doing in the bed and you're not willing to listen because your ego's so big.
Do you think that they know that well, I guess you have to tell them. You have to tell them and
And the
find a
thing
space
is,
and a way to tell them that you're not enjoying it.
and the
And
thing
that's
is,
tough.
that's tough because over 60% of women admit to faking at some point in time, at least once in the bed. So that, and I know this because I study stuff like this. So it's it's not, it's real. At some point, we've all faked it at least
Yeah,
once.
I listened to a lot of podcasts and things like that, and they say most women, I think it was like 1 out of 4, have never experienced, a true good experience. They call them a big O. I'm like, how are you 50, 60 years old and you just been out here letting people have sex with you and you're not getting any enjoyment out of it?
A lot of people, because there's some other need that that relationship is serving. I'm not that person.
Clearly.
Let me say this again. I'm not that person. If I'm not getting something out,
Me.
we're gonna have
But
to
do
change
you,
something.
I think, and that's why these young girls need to know. We need to talk to them about it. Again, goes back to earlier. It should be enjoyable. You should be getting something out of it too. Like, you should want to, you should be excited. It shouldn't be a task. Like,
It shouldn't be. But again, it goes back to, and I think Marcus asked this question, which we are going to get to. One about being satisfied in the bed or faking it or something like faking it. I
mhm.
think you the question you said. The problem is too sometimes men are not willing to listen for ego. You tell them you're not being satisfied in the bed and they just think it's you, being difficult for that moment and whatever. I know I'm good. Oh, buddy, you might not be.
And then traditionally, I would say most men traditionally have more sexual partners or experience than women. So then they're really like, well, I ain't never got no complaints before.
Hmm.
They didn't have to be with you for X amount of years and deal with this every day either. So they use like that's the thing. That's why this needs to
I
be
need
more
some shades to
conversations.
put on. I was looking for some shades to put on. I need to
There
be,
needs to be
I need to
more
put,
conversations because I've seen that too. Well, I ain't never got complaints before. You just hit it and quit it. That's a different situation than me who have to sit here
be
with
with you
you
continuously every
and
day.
let's talk about it.
Let's
I
talk
couldn't
about
be
it.
look. I don't know. I tell people like I'm not saying go out here and just be all willy-nilly with different people, but I do think it is imperative to try different things, even with your partner, see what works, what doesn't work. If you want to try it with multiple people in your younger days while you're dating, half at it. Some people call it test driving.
Yeah, do what you need
Call
to
it what
do.
you want. Do what you need to do so that when you get my age and you're married, you're not out here cheating on your husband with the pool boy,
Right,
dropping your robe for the mailman.
because some of us women are out here giving Oscar level performances because we don't want to lie and hurt your feelings.
And I don't have time for that either. That's too much. And then how are you supposed to learn? How is he so? Because he has the potential, if he wants to make you feel the way you want to be felt,
Oh
and
yeah,
vice versa. So I'm sure he getting his, because sex starts with men and it ends with men. When they ready, it go. When they done, it's over. So he getting it.
every time. So you better
Get
get
yours,
your
sis. Well,
every
Marcus,
time.
make sure she get hers.
Yeah, so yeah, Marcus is not being satisfied in the bed, but he so Marcus has to really go back, and I know you're gonna go back to his last question. He has to really figure out what the communication breakdown is. I mean, she may not be being satisfied. And so therefore she's not interested in doing it. It may be something else. I don't know. Maybe she's doing too much housework. There is a balance. Because to me, like men don't realize a lot of times they're just going to work. You are going to work, you're dealing with the kids, you're taking care of the household responsibilities. So you have all of these things. And then you want sex. And then sex is something that you don't even just try to get me in the mood
Enjoy.
or
Well,
enjoy it.
she doesn't. Well, probably. I'm just assuming she's not enjoying it. So
You
it's
just
another task.
You just want sex right now on the dime. Brother, what you just went to work and I did work and five other things. At least get me into the mood. Like know what
Yeah.
turns me on or be willing to understand how to get me there. And some of y'all don't want to do it. So if that is Marcus' situation, he needs to reevaluate. Now there are some women that are
Mhm.
just trifling. Let's just be honest. They ain't doing nothing if they
Be-
working. And if they are working, they
I
still
just
ain't
don't
doing
see
nothing.
why she turning them down. Like, I don't get it. That's why I feel like it's another problem too on her end, because it should be enjoyable. You should want to. Like, I don't see why you should. No, I'm not in the mood. Like, I've never understood that. But that's when I started to realize it's deeper than that. Women aren't getting anything out of it. It's a task. It's not enjoyable. Because I don't understand. I'm not just over here just saying, no, I'm not in the mood. Like, it's fun. It feels good. Like, why are you, like, you get it? Like, why are you so against this? I never understood that.
Everybody experience in the bedroom is not your experience. So
Clearly.
everybody experience is not what you're experiencing. So therefore it's not pleasurable to them because one, some women, it may have turned into an argument for them to tell you, hey, I need you to do X, Y, and Z to get me to the mood. And then you have some men that are not willing. They just want to straight get to the getting to, and that's it. I'm not in that situation.
We're not a machine. Women are not like a machine.
Well, some men back in the day, men still have this in their head that we weren't supposed to get pleasure out of it. We were
Yeah.
literally there for them and they pleasure. Like you said, sex begins and ends with a man. And for some of them, that is still where they are. And they wonder why they woman is not sexually attracted to them or attracted to them in no other way. That is why. Because you need to get out of your own way and stop thinking it's about you and pleasure your woman. And you will get your pleasure.
So, pour into her and she'll pour right
Pour
on
back
back.
into you.
So, Mark, how often do women thinking about cheating? Like we said, probably more often than you think,
Hmm.
especially when she's just checked out and she's overwhelmed, overstimulated, whatever the case may be. Check in with her, see what it is that you may can do better, contribute, and then when it comes to the bedroom, see what it is, those things that you can do to immediately implement to kind of shift how she's feeling and get her in the mood. Let's see, let's talk to her more. Let's use our communication and again, apply it fast.
And so I don't want people to think like we're on one side, we're answering Marcus' question. Even though we're making it, real and being authentic with our answers, this is Marcus. Marcus is asking us why his woman has checked out. This came from a man asking about women checking out. So we're trying to help Marcus to understand from a woman's point of view what may be
What
going
could be
on.
happening? Yeah.
We're not men. So for all the men that watch, that's gonna jump in our DM afterwards, we're telling him what women could possibly be thinking. We cannot speak for every woman, but for the majority of us, and being on earth, as long as both of us have been on earth and the friends we have and the conversations we
Hmm.
have with our girlfriends, We're telling you what's going on.
The last question for Marcus we go through quickly is, can a woman be submissive if she makes more money? You want to start with answering that? Do you think a woman can be submissive if she makes more money?
Can a woman be? Yes.
I think it's about just respect, and we call it that big energy. As long as your man have that big energy, then I think you'll be just fine. I think you get in your own head and you get in your own way, as so do we all. But in this particular question, Marcus, I think that she can be submissive. Just get out your own way. Stop the fact that you even asked this already lets me know that you're in your own head. Don't even think about it. Be a big dog. I run this. This daddy house.
But see, this is the thing. He wants her to be soft. Marcus want his woman to be soft because he wouldn't have asked, can a woman be submissive if she makes more
Hmm.
money? Then put her in a situation where she feels safe, to be soft. Sometimes we have to take the lead in so many spaces, especially as Black women, that emotionally, you're like, why am I being submissive when I got to take the lead on so many things? She has to feel safe.
Big dog.
Safety will get you more than any. Emotional
Absolutely.
safety will get you far. Look, Marcus, what are you not doing, buddy?
And there's other things besides just finances, like whatever it is that she like, go back to what she like. If she like her feet rubbed, if she like me, I love getting my back lotion. Like I don't know, like I just love. I make my 4-year-old do it. I don't care anybody ever want to rub lotion on my back. I love it. It calms me down. Like it feels good. I be itching. I don't know. Find out what it is that she like in those things that you can do. It may not always be the money. It could be washing her car, filling up her tank. Like there's other things you can do that's manly that can
Correct.
still do that.
But let's be clear. If I'm paying the bills, I'm raising the kids, and I'm carrying the emotional load, don't expect me to carry your ego. I mean, what do you really want here?
I think that like I said, already starting this question up, I could tell you already in your head. So get out of it and find you an action plan on what you can do. I don't want to say to supplement the fact that she, may
Makes more
be
money.
making more money than you, but I mean, it is what it
A lot
is.
of men have a problem with their woman making more money than them, and they automatically think, well, I'm gonna be downgraded as a man if she makes more money than me. I'm gonna be treated differently. You've already gotten in your own space because you've already started having these conversations with
Exactly.
yourself. It is not her job to make you feel secure and safe and loved and protected because she makes more money than you. Your job is to love her, respect her, take care of her
For
in those
her.
spaces. And it should then be reciprocated. If it's not mutually reciprocated, then y'all have a problem beyond her making more money than you. Just
Mhm.
because I make more money than you, okay, I make more money than you. That means more money is coming into the household. It's about
Exactly.
respect and mutual energy. What are you doing to cause her not to give you that respect and you feel like, oh no, I ain't the man no more because she making more money than me?
Mhm.
Something happened. And it wasn't just about the money. A lot of times it's, I always say, self-reflecting. We have so many issues going on internally that we are then going to zone in on the one thing. Oh yeah, that's what it is. I know the relationship
Mhm.
not working because she making more money than me. No, that's not it.
That's a really good point. It's like a cop out. Like
That's
instead of
exactly what
reflecting
it
and
is.
seeing what it is that you could be doing different, like I mentioned, the things that you could do to help her feel softer, to where it's not even a conversation. We make more money. Who cares? Instead of doing that, making an action plan, you want to just find something to blame it on and just woe is me. Now she has to sun you. So now it really is not even the fact that she's making more money, is you're acting like another child that she has. But that's another conversation for another day.
Exactly. This whole situation reminds me why you don't share everything online, because
Yeah.
the moment you do, people feel entitled to your private pain. And so you run to social media and you say you're not being satisfied in the bed, or your woman making more money
Hmm.
than you and she treating you a certain way. Now you've opened up
Or
but
you repost something, like we know what you're talking about. Like they'll repost something or comment on something. We see you.
folk out here waiting for you for your downfall. So they're scrolling. They looking to see.
They
I
putting the
knew it
pieces
was
together.
I knew it was too perfect. Sometimes silence is protection. That's why I don't tell y'all everything I'm doing. Let's just be clear. Keep your relationship private. Marcus, you did right by sliding in the DM versus hopefully you ain't running social media. I don't know. You could have posted it on social media and still asked us the question. But we're gonna pray for you, Marcus. I saw something in the shade room in regards to, the whole thing tying in with the Shannon and everything. It said you all be loud online and silent at home. That's the real problem. You all
Right,
be
because what if she don't
loud
even
online.
know? What if she don't even know that there's a problem? Or vice versa. What if he doesn't know that there's a problem? Like we have to
Right.
talk to each other
You
instead of
gotta
just running.
you gotta pray for you gotta protect what you pray for. You
So true.
literally. So stay offline, Marcus. Don't run the social media with it. They don't care.
Yes. Well, thank you guys for tuning in today. Please keep the DMs coming. We love to answer any questions or thoughts or comments that you have about our thought process and even this episode. You can drop them in the comments, email us, DM us. We would love the feedback because, as we mentioned, we're just giving our side, our perspective based on what we've experienced and the people we know and talk to regularly. But we don't know everything and we're not always right, although. I like to think that I am, but so let us know your thoughts, and drop a fire in the comments if
Correct.
you like this episode, if it hit close to home, if you agree with us. And yeah, continue to follow us at Poppin Conversations.
Thank you again for popping in to listen to us have this conversation and answer Marcus' question. We have 2 episodes left before we break for the summer. We'll be back in September. Don't miss what's going to be coming up for our new episodes. This will definitely be something you want to tune into going forward.
Yeah, so thank you guys again. It's been a pleasure. See you next time.